So this is sort of a follow-up to the previous thing I made. The TF2 bot situation has gone so much worse. And it's in a way I kind of expected, but also didn't expect. It's hard to explain. So as we know that there is a solution to the, at least sort of aimbotting and wall hacking bots and stuff. But there is not really a counter to this one, not that I can think of. And this one seems to be human acting bots, and that means that the bots are acting more human than, well, bots. And it's frustrating because over this Christmas has been pretty much the bane of my existence, and I've been wondering the whole time, like, why the hell am I being kicked on these games? And it turns out that's because of fucking bots. There's no other answer to that. I go onto TF2 in the mornings and queue up for casual, which I don't want to do, but kind of the only thing I can do, because I don't know any good community servers. And then it's just all bots. I get fed up of it, to be honest. There are achievements I can do, like just casually, I guess, whilst I wait for players to join, but mainly the thing that I need is like a group where I can have bots. I mean, fucking said that wrong. But yeah, well, I can kick bots' asses basically by grouping up with other players. And we essentially get there first, and then it allows players to queue into our game, so we can have a chance at having a normal match at some point. And the lack of sort of anything done about this is a problem, because I think something needs to happen. I think the main thing that needs to happen is that Valve needs to restrict the game to certain players, I guess. Like players with probably thousands of hours, maybe, I don't know. There has to be some solution that doesn't exclude FTPs with less hours. Again, it's difficult because bots will create accounts, but the main problem now is that they're acting human and starting calling votes on players by saying, quote unquote, it's a bot, and unfortunately all the players believe them. And unbeknownst to a lot of the people looking at Steam numbers, a lot of these player accounts are bots. I think TF2 would be at the bottom if you took out all the bots. But there really should be some things put in the way to stop bots. But the first thing I think that could happen that could delay it is community moderation. And these should be players with like endorsement ranks, and this is where you could introduce an endorsement system. Players who are like goodwills can get nominated by Valve themselves after some reviewing and decide whether some players are legit or some are not, and then it saves Valve reviewing them and only giving them the like footage that shows them as a bot or something and getting them banned for good. That's one thing. The other thing is also putting barriers in place. I think free-to-play players who have already played the game for hours and gone like milestone achievements in the game, I think they should be allowed to queue up, because I think that's fair. Yeah, again, it's only a temporary solution. The main thing is you need to set up a way to show that a player is legit and not cheated things in. And it should be like looking at the achievements, seeing that they're timed closely, not closely, but maybe like a few every day, and that's it. Not all cheated at once, like the bots do. I think this can stop a lot of confusion. If players have cheated in, then tough luck, I guess. I still consider consider that cheating to an extent. Even though players do cheat in, like, just for the bloody items that you get. Still. So, yeah, as I said, bots are now acting like players and calling votes, calling out bots, all those sort of things. And it's getting to a point where the game is becoming unplayable, and I've definitely questioned my TF2 life choices pretty much. I just get fed up. I almost don't recognise TF2 anymore. That's how bad it is. I've had some of my best moments in the past few days, but that's when there's not any bots. And that's also when I'm not joining into a match that's about destined to lose, pretty much. Like, I'm not a good player, and for some reason Valve thinks I am, and then they put me in this queue for backfilling, and I don't get a reward for it. There's no incentive to play, and that's a big issue as well. I think if you're making a game set up for failure, then nobody's going to play it. You know, that's why TF2 has lost so many players. I think the FTP update was a massive mistake. And so now we've got players all over the place with no clue of what they're doing, and then we as like veteran players can't help anyone. And it's even worse now with the bots to get in between that, pretty much. Like, would you believe it or not? Last time I played TF2 was actually 2017, before this year. And there weren't any bots. There actually was none. They didn't exist at that point. And then, like, a couple of years later, they began. They invaded the game. And pretty much changed its landscape forever. It's just frustrating, really. The crazy thing is that there are community servers who've already figured out how to counter the bot problem, so what gives Valve? What's your excuse? As much as they can do good in, like, other games and even the software itself, which I've got good credit for, they absolutely fucking suck at dealing with these bots. It's so dumb. But luckily I haven't encountered an Megatronic bot, but I'm not sure if they're like... It's basically the same bots, but broken differently, so pretty much Valve might have figured out the issue, but they've now countered it. So they're changing their names and stuff. Yeah. Sucks to say this, but I think TF2 might be dying now, for good. And I've definitely again questioned my choices of like getting a bunch of items. Like, I'm considering playing other games and thinking about it. The dopamine response I get from other games is better than getting items, and crazy to say this, but I've thought about selling most of my inventory. Again, it's fucking crazy to think that, but I've legitimately considered it. Like, I don't really want to drag kill counts, I almost want to play the game as it is and not do achievements now. And yeah, but also it's worth mentioning the goal of the bots at the moment is that they're basically trying to create disruption so that nobody trusts each other. They're basically setting us against each other, and they've unfortunately succeeded because people don't use critical thinking. People don't use is it intuitiveness? I forgot. Lateral thinking, is that it? I only learned that through Taskmaster. I don't think a person's capacity to address problems imagining solutions that cannot be arrived at via deductive or logical means. Is that right? I don't know. That's a non-linear decision making. I don't know if that's right. I don't know. Either way, I've got better things to spend my money on. I think this might be the nail in the coffin for the most part. I think the most I'll do is I'll downgrade my items, because I think that's something. So I don't really want the full, I don't know, the full set, I don't know what you call it. I'll keep it unusual, but I might sell Australian weapons. And really, it's just because of like this fucking bot situation and not getting any dopamine from the game. And I don't even know what I'll sell it for, to be honest. Like, I'll get the taunts and specialised kill streaks and also the downgraded items. But that's it. I don't think there's much else worth, really. I might get a strange crits creek, but that's it. But yeah. It sucks that this has happened, to be honest. Feels like something that shouldn't have happened at all. It has. So hopefully people can arrive at a solution, but at this rate, I don't see myself playing TF2 for that long anymore. Because Valve are doing fuck all. And so, let me just check. TF. No, people are not quick selling, but still. It'd be no surprise if people are quick selling now. So yeah, I'm just tired of this shit. Like, the game's probably dead to me now. Just put it simply, plainly. I'd much rather be playing other games than that says something. Good job, Valve, you fucking killed TF2.